each side of the Salton Sea has a little different flavor. The south side is dedicated largely to agriculture. This is where all the salt mining formerly took place and a contributor to the decline of the sea. This area is also home to a large number of migratory birds and a large number of geothermal plants. Today we're going to look at the other wild side of the Salton Sea, on the south side. As far as you can see in almost any direction, there are fields and fields of crops owned by corporations, and when you go to your grocery store and buy produce from California, it was grown here and harvested by these people. I don't know what they were harvesting right now, but there were groups of these little wagon trains scattered all over the fields. There were about 12 people to each little train, and they would walk beside it, pull, and just throw it into the truck. And the side roads all had irrigation ditches on each side. I was driving along looking at the fields, and then I got stopped for this.
Oh, look at him run. I'm on my way to the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge. There's actually 3 different areas, I think. Anyway, I just stopped. You can smell cows. So I assume there's cows over there. And I've been seeing these puffs of smoke from the other side of the lake. And it's odd that this would be so close to a refuge, but I guess that's why there's a refuge. I don't know what this is, but they're putting out a lot of smoke. These are geothermal plants, largely owned by the California Electric Company. A lot of bubbling up of the ground in this whole south area. There's supposed to be mud volcanoes, but I missed that part. And I was right about the cows. I swear this went on for miles and miles as far as you could see. It was worse than Dodge City. And in some of those fields I was admiring were thousands of birds. Skittish birds. These are seagulls. But they weren't all dumb old seagulls. People from all over the world come to this area to bird watch. Now, I'm not a birder, but I do appreciate birds, and I'd like to find something a little bit different. There's a trailhead at the visitor center as well as an observation deck. They're pretty far away, though. The Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge, and that's about how far away those birds are. You can barely see them. Let's see how. That's about the size from where I am. Odd. Let's go up a little further.
These are snow geese, but they were so far away I had to zoom in with the camera and then look at them later to see what they were. And I wasn't walking down a muddy trail to get a closer look. They're quite beautiful, though.
How funny. From here, you see nothing. There's this farm over here. There's some... You can see the expanse, but they're not closer. Alright, I'm on my way to what's called Unit 1, which is still part of the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge, but you have to kind of look for it. Anyway, this road is quite washboardy. Here.
right up ahead, a mile. Birds don't seem to understand the boundaries of a refuge, so on the side of the road, wherever there was water, you would find groups of birds. Another beautiful egret, and then this. I'm not sure what these are. Well, I finally arrived. There's a pit toilet and an observation desk, but there's this little trail we're going to take. It was a little muddy in parts, but it was navigable, and along the way there are little signs that tell you what kind of birds to look out for. And you can just wander around and see what you can see. Once I get in there, you can't see them. But hope you got to hear that little call. The little birds were pretty elusive. I tried following, but this has happened more often than not. I wanted you to hear them, but... This pond was filled with ducks when I first started down this street. It's a little cutaway. Now it's empty. They all went on the other side. They seem to do that everywhere. But I got some and saw some. And because the birds are so skittish, they have a little hut here. It's for handicapped people, but you can go in and then observe. A lot of Canadian geese, but mixed in are some unique birds. There is one more wildlife refuge in this area. That's the Imperial Wildlife Refuge. It had rained, as I said, and I did not go down the little muddy roads. So I just sort of pulled in and looked around. You have to register when you go in. You could drive through these little roads, cross the little levees, but because of the rain, most of it was closed, and I didn't get out and walk. They say there's about 8,000 acres of salt marshes, freshwater ponds, and desert shrub. You can also hunt here, and it seemed as though they had a couple areas to camp in. These people have been here long term, but there did seem to be some spaces left. It was a little run down looking. I'm glad I took some time to go to these areas. They really were interesting. But you know, there was a lot of birds to see just from my campsite. And that's the subject of the next video. Places I camped all around the lake. Hope you'll join me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below and leave me a comment.